Did you know that almost 96% of adults over 75 are making simple drinking mistakes that silently damage their kidneys every single day? Some of these habits seem harmless, but they can shorten your kidney's lifespan. Let's uncover them right now. Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Miller. Welcome to Matthew Miller TV, the channel where we explore practical, science-backed ways to live longer, healthier, and happier lives. If you care about your health and well-being, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss valuable insights designed to help you and your loved ones. At 75, your kidneys work like natural filters, keeping your body balanced, removing waste, and protecting your heart. But here's the problem. With age, those filters become more fragile, and when we continue daily habits that put pressure on them, kidney function drops much faster. In today's video, I'll share the 5 most common drinking mistakes older adults make after 75, and most importantly, the simple changes you can start today to protect your kidneys for years to come. So let's begin with the first mistake, one that I see in nearly every patient who walks into my clinic. Mistake number 1, not drinking enough water at 75. Linda from Ohio starts her mornings the same way every day, with a small cup of coffee at the kitchen table, looking out her window at the garden she's cared for since her children were little. She rarely pours herself a glass of water though. "I'm just not that thirsty," she often says. Like many older adults, Linda assumes that if she isn't feeling thirsty, her body must be fine. She drinks coffee, maybe some orange juice at breakfast, and a little sweet tea at lunch, but plain water, hardly ever. This is one of the most common and dangerous mistakes people over 70 make, not drinking enough water. It seems simple, but it has profound consequences, especially for kidney health. According to the National Institute on Aging, older adults are more likely to become dehydrated because the sensation of thirst diminishes with age. By the time someone feels thirsty, their body may already be lacking fluids. Research from the University of California shows that nearly 40% of seniors admitted to hospitals in the US are dehydrated. That's not just about dry lips or fatigue, some major risks to kidney function. Here's why. Your kidneys act like your body's natural filtration system. They flush out waste, toxins, and excess salts, but without enough water, that system slows down. Imagine trying to run a washing machine without enough water. The clothes won't get clean, and the machine itself might break down. This same happens in your kidneys. When you're dehydrated, the kidneys concentrate urine, which increases the risk of kidney stones and makes it harder to filter blood properly. Over time, chronic dehydration accelerates kidney decline, a problem especially critical for those over 70. The consequences are serious. A study published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases, we found that adults who consistently drank less than 4 cups of water a day were more likely to develop chronic kidney disease compared to those who drank adequate amounts. And the risk doesn't stop. Their dehydration also increases the chance of urinary tract infections, confusion, constipation, and even falls, since dizziness is a common symptom. For someone like Linda, this could mean a sudden trip to the emergency room after a fainting spell in the garden. Why does this mistake happen so often? Part of it is biology. Our thirst mechanism naturally weakens as we age, but there's also psychology and habit. Many older Americans grew up in a time when people didn't carry water bottles everywhere. Coffee at breakfast, a soda. Mistake number 2, drinking too much soda and sugary beverages. Robert is 77 and lives in a small town in Texas. Like many Americans his age, he has certain routines that feel almost unshakable. Every morning he reaches into the fridge for a nice cold cola. It's something he's done since he was a young man. Back in the day, no summer BBQ, no Sunday football game, and no road trip across Texas was complete without soda. Even now, long after retirement, he still enjoys one with breakfast, a large glass of sweet tea when he eats out for lunch, and sometimes a Diet Coke in the evening while watching the news. Robert always believed, "It's just a drink, I've been fine all these years." But what he didn't realize is that this simple habit was putting an enormous strain on his kidneys. Sugary drinks are one of the most harmful yet overlooked threats to kidney health in older adults. In the US, soda and sweetened beverages remain incredibly popular, even among seniors. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, the average American consumes around 38 pounds of added sugar every year, much of it from sodas, sweet tea, and fruit-flavored drinks. When sugar, especially fructose, floods the bloodstream, the kidneys must filter more aggressively to process the excess. Over time, this added workload causes wear and tear. A study from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that drinking just 1 sugary soda a day increases the risk of developing chronic kidney disease by as much as 23%. For people like Robert, who also face age-related risks like high blood pressure and diabetes, that impact can be devastating, and it's not just regular soda that's dangerous. Many older adults switch to diet sodas, believing they've made a healthier choice. Unfortunately, research from the National Kidney Foundation suggests otherwise. Artificial sweeteners in diet sodas may alter gut bacteria, increase inflammation, and still contribute to kidney strain. Some studies have linked heavy diet soda consumption to a faster decline in kidney function, particularly in older women. In other words, whether it's classic cola or the diet version, your kidneys still pay the price. The consequences go beyond kidney damage. Sugary drinks contribute to weight gain and obesity, which are among the strongest risk factors for kidney disease. They also raise the risk of type 2 diabetes, a condition that is already widespread among seniors in the US. And then there's gout, a painful joint condition caused by excess uric acid, which the kidneys normally filter out. High fructose intake makes this worse, increasing flare-ups of arthritis-like pain in older adults. Add to this the fact that soda is addictive. Its combination of sugar and caffeine creates a craving cycle similar to nicotine, and you have a perfect storm. Mistake number 3, drinking too much coffee or caffeine. Margaret, a 74-year-old grandmother from North Carolina, has a comforting morning ritual. She wakes up, brews a full pot of coffee, and sips her first steaming cup while sitting on her porch, watching the sun rise over the trees. 1 cup becomes 2. By mid-morning, she's poured her third. In the afternoon, she often treats herself to another cup, sometimes switching to black tea or even a cappuccino if she meets a friend at the local cafe. Coffee keeps me going, she jokes, and at my age, I need all the energy I can get. Coffee has long been considered part of American life. From diner refills that never end, to Starbucks runs with the grandkids, caffeine is woven into our culture. For many older adults, it's not just a beverage, it's comfort, companionship, and tradition. But here's the problem. Too much caffeine, especially after 70, can quietly damage your kidneys and overall health. The kidneys play a vital role in filtering the bloodstream. When caffeine enters the system, it acts as a natural diuretic, increasing urine production. While this might not sound like a big deal, for older adults, it often leads to dehydration, a key risk factor for kidney decline. Studies published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases show that chronic dehydration is one of the most common yet preventable causes of kidney problems among seniors. Combine this with the fact that caffeine stimulates the nervous system and raises blood pressure, and you've got a recipe for kidney stress. One research review found that high caffeine intake was linked to an increased risk of kidney stones. Why? Because caffeine causes calcium to be excreted in urine, which can lead to stone formation over time. And for seniors already dealing with age-related bone thinning, losing calcium this way is a double blow. It weakens the bones while straining the kidneys. The broader consequences go beyond kidney health. Too much caffeine can disrupt sleep, worsen anxiety, and increase heart palpitations. At 75, when the body's metabolism slows, caffeine lingers longer in the system. What feels like just one more cup in the afternoon can actually lead to restless nights, which in turn harms overall recovery and immune function. Poor sleep is also associated with faster kidney decline, a connection many people never consider. So why do so many older Americans fall into this habit? First, it's cultural. Coffee is deeply embedded in daily life. Many grew up in households where the coffee pot was always on, and social gatherings often centered around it. Second, caffeine feels like a safe stimulant. Unlike alcohol or smoking, coffee has long been celebrated, even marketed as heart-healthy in moderation. This leads many to believe that if some is good, more must be better. Third, older adults often rely on caffeine to fight fatigue, not realizing that the fatigue itself may be caused by poor hydration, poor sleep, or underlying health issues that caffeine only masks. Margaret's story illustrates this cycle well. She often felt tired by late afternoon and believed another cup of coffee was the solution. But what she didn't realize was that her high caffeine intake was causing fragmented sleep at night. The less rest she got, the more coffee she needed the next day, creating a loop that stressed both her body and her kidneys. The good news is that you don't need to give up coffee completely. In fact, moderate coffee consumption, about 1 to 2 cups a day, can be safe, and in some studies, even beneficial. The key is moderation and balance. Here are some expert-approved strategies. Set a limit. Aim for no more than 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine daily, roughly 2 8-ounce cups of brewed coffee. Remember, caffeine also comes from tea, chocolate, and some medications. Switch to half calf or decaf, mixing half. Regular coffee with half decaf allows you to enjoy the ritual while cutting caffeine in half. Time it right, finish caffeinated drinks before 2 p.m. to protect your sleep cycle. Hydrate alongside coffee for every cup of coffee. Drink a glass of water. This offsets dehydration and helps kidneys filter more efficiently. Explore alternatives. Herbal teas, like chamomile or rooibos, provide warmth and comfort without caffeine. For a morning boost, try green tea, which has less caffeine and contains antioxidants that benefit overall health. Margaret's doctor suggested she cut back after noticing her elevated blood pressure and borderline kidney function. At first, she resisted. Coffee had been part of her life for decades, but after switching to half calf and setting a 2-cup maximum, she was surprised to notice positive changes. Within a few weeks, she was sleeping more soundly, waking up refreshed, and experiencing less afternoon fatigue. Her next lab results showed improved hydration and steadier kidney function. "I didn't think coffee was hurting me," she admitted, "but I feel better now than I have in years." The lesson is straight. Mistake number 4, drinking too much alcohol. Frank is 78 and lives just outside of Chicago. Every evening he enjoys a ritual he's kept for decades, sitting in his recliner, turning on the evening news, and pouring himself a glass of whiskey. Sometimes it's 1 drink, sometimes 2, and on weekends with his old bowling buddies, it's a few beers. "It helps me relax," he tells his daughter. "I've been drinking like this my whole life. It never did me any harm." Frank's story is not unusual. For many Americans, alcohol is tied to social life, relaxation, and celebration. Whether it's a glass of wine with dinner, a beer at the ball game, or cocktails with friends, drinking is woven into the fabric of daily life. And at first glance, it seems harmless. After all, we often hear headlines about wine being good for the heart or moderate drinking helping with stress. But the truth is, after age 70, alcohol has a very different effect on the body, especially on the kidneys. Your kidneys are responsible for filtering out toxins, and alcohol is one of the most demanding toxins they deal with. Each time you drink, your kidneys must work harder to clear alcohol from the bloodstream while also balancing fluid levels and electrolytes. Alcohol is a diuretic, which means it increases urine production and causes dehydration. For older adults who are already at higher risk of dehydration, this added stress can be dangerous. According to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism (NIAA), more than 10% of adults over 65 engage in binge drinking, defined as 4 or more drinks for women and 5 or more drinks for men on a single occasion. Studies show that regular heavy drinking is linked to a significantly higher risk of chronic kidney disease. Even moderate drinking, when combined with a related decline in kidney function, can accelerate damage. The risks don't stop with the kidneys. Alcohol raises blood pressure, a leading cause of kidney disease. It also affects the liver, and when the liver is damaged, the kidneys must work overtime to compensate. For seniors who may already be managing diabetes or heart problems, alcohol creates a dangerous triple hit on the body: increased blood pressure, higher blood sugar levels, and extra kidney strain. So why does this mistake remain common? For one, habits formed in younger years are hard to break. Someone who grew up having a beer at every barbecue or a nightcap before bed often keeps that routine into their 70s. There's also denial. Many seniors say, "I don't drink that much," without realizing that even 2 drinks daily can be risky at their age. Alcohol tolerance decreases with age, meaning the same amount that once felt fine now lingers longer in the bloodstream and has a bigger impact. Another reason is loneliness. For some older adults, a nightly drink fills a gap, keeping them company after a spouse has passed or providing comfort during quiet evenings. In U.S. culture, drinking is often portrayed as a normal way to unwind, making it harder for seniors to recognize when their habit has crossed into harmful territory. Frank learned this lesson the hard way. After a routine checkup, his doctor noticed rising blood pressure and declining kidney function. Concerned, his daughter urged him to cut back on alcohol. At first, Frank resisted. "It's just a drink to relax," he argued. But after experiencing dizziness and a kidney stone episode, he realized the connection. His doctor explained that his kidneys were struggling to keep up, and alcohol was pushing them further toward failure. The good news is that it's never too late to make changes. Reducing alcohol intake can significantly improve kidney health, even in your 70s. Here are practical steps older adults can take. You know the guidelines. The NIAAA recommends that adults over 65 limit alcohol to no more than 1 standard drink per day and not more than 7 drinks per week. A standard drink means 5 ounces of wine, 12 ounces of beer, or 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Choose alcohol-free days. Setting aside several days each week with no alcohol helps kidneys recover and reduces dependence. Stay hydrated. If you do drink, match each alcoholic beverage with a glass of water to reduce dehydration. Find alternatives instead of a nightcap. Try calming herbal tea or sparkling water with a splash of fruit juice. These provide relaxation without stressing the kidneys. Track your intake. Many seniors underestimate how much they drink. Keeping a simple log helps raise awareness and accountability. Frank eventually replaced his nightly whiskey with sparkling water and lime, saving alcohol for occasional social gatherings. He admitted it wasn't easy at first. Drinking had been part of his identity for so long. But after a few months he noticed more energy, steadier blood pressure, and fewer nighttime bathroom trips. His doctor confirmed that his kidney function had stabilized. "I thought it was too late to change," Frank said, "but I'm proof it isn't." The key takeaway is simple. Alcohol may feel like an old friend, but at 75 it can quietly become your kidney's worst enemy. The same drink that once felt harmless now carries risks your body. Mistake number 5, ignoring the role of medications and over-the-counter drinks. Eleanor, a 79-year-old from Arizona, prides herself on being independent. Every morning she neatly lines up her pills on the kitchen counter. Blood pressure medication, a diuretic, and something her doctor prescribed for arthritis. After swallowing them with a few sips of orange juice, she often takes a multivitamin, sometimes an extra calcium tablet, and, when she feels tired, one of those brightly packaged energy shots she buys at the gas station. If it's sold over the counter, it must be safe, she reasons. Eleanor's approach is common among older Americans. According to the CDC, nearly 90% of adults over 65 take at least one prescription medication, and more than half take 4 or more daily. Add to that the vitamins, herbal supplements, and boost drinks marketed as harmless health aids, and the kidneys suddenly face a heavy, unrecognized workload. Your kidneys act like the body's natural filter, removing waste and processing everything you swallow, whether it's prescription drugs, vitamins, or over-the-counter drinks. The problem is that many people assume these products are safe just because they read common or advertised as healthy. But in reality, certain medications and supplements can quietly damage the kidneys when misused, especially in older adults. Take NSAIDs, for example, or over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen or naproxen. Many seniors rely on them daily for arthritis pain, yet studies show that regular NSAID use is strongly linked to kidney injury. The National Kidney Foundation warns that frequent use of these drugs can double the risk of chronic kidney disease. Similarly, some energy drinks contain high doses of caffeine and other stimulants, which increase blood pressure and cause dehydration, both dangerous for aging kidneys. Even supplements that seem harmless can be risky. High doses of vitamin C may increase the risk of kidney stones. Too much calcium from supplements can overload the kidneys and contribute to stone formation. Herbal products marketed for energy or weight loss sometimes contain undisclosed ingredients that stress the kidneys. For Eleanor, that small energy shot she took when she felt tired was delivering more caffeine than 3 cups of coffee. Along with herbs, her kidneys struggle to process. The consequences are serious. A study in JAMA Internal Medicine found that nearly 23,000 emergency room visits each year in the U.S. are linked to dietary supplements. Older adults are especially vulnerable because their kidneys are already less efficient due to natural aging. Add in multiple prescriptions, and the risk of harmful drug interactions skyrockets. The result can be kidney injury, dangerously high blood pressure, or even acute kidney failure. So why do seniors fall into this mistake? First, trust. In American culture, if something is sold in a pharmacy, grocery store, or online, people assume it's safe. Second, the desire for independence. Many older adults don't want to bother their doctor with small things, so they self-manage with over-the-counter products. Third, the marketing industry plays a huge role, with promises like boost your energy, support joint health, or detox naturally. Supplements sound like easy solutions without highlighting the risks. Eleanor's wake-up call came after she experienced sudden swelling in her ankles and a sharp drop in kidney function on her lab tests. Her doctor asked about her daily routine, and when she admitted to combining multiple medications, vitamins, and energy drinks, the problem became clear. Her kidneys were overwhelmed. The good news: with guidance, these risks can be managed. Here are some practical steps older adults can take. Keep a complete list. Write down every prescription, over-the-counter drug, and supplement you take, including dosages. Bring this list to every doctor's appointment. Ask before adding anything new, even if it's just a vitamin or just an energy shot. Check with your healthcare provider first. Some combinations can be harmful. Be careful with pain relievers. Use NSAIDs sparingly and never daily unless specifically instructed by your doctor. Consider alternatives like acetaminophen, physical therapy, or topical treatments. Watch out for hidden caffeine. Energy drinks and shots can contain dangerous levels of stimulants. Stick to coffee or tea in moderation if you want to pick. Simplify when possible. More isn't always better. Focus on what's truly necessary for your health rather than taking multiple overlapping supplements. After Eleanor cut out the energy shots and reduced her NSAID use, her kidney function improved. She now keeps a small water bottle nearby instead of reaching for stimulants when she feels tired. With her doctor's help, she simplified her supplement routine to just one daily multivitamin that's safe for seniors. "I thought I was helping my body," she said, "but I didn't realize I was overloading it. Now I know less is sometimes more." The takeaway is powerful. Your kidneys can only handle so much. Every pill, supplement, or drink you consume adds to their workload. At 75, ignoring this reality can put VA just walked through 5 common drinking habits that silently wear down your kidneys after 75. Drinking too little water, relying on sugary drinks, overloading on caffeine, enjoying alcohol too freely, and overlooking the risks of medications and supplements. Each of these mistakes may feel small on its own, but together they can take a heavy toll on your kidneys. The truth is simple. Your kidneys don't ask for much, just hydration, balance, and a little protection from overload. By making small changes today, choosing water more often, cutting back on sodas, moderating caffeine and alcohol, and being careful with pills and supplements, you give your kidneys the chance to stay strong for years to come. Remember, it's never too late to protect your health. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and share it with friends or family who might also benefit. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these habits you've noticed in your own life. And if you want more expert tips to stay healthy and active after 60, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, take care of your kidneys, and I'll see you in the next video.